Hey everybody.
Uh,
While folks are joining, I'm just gonna ask that you mute yourself. Hey, what's up, Daniel? What's up, Ryan? Hey, Allison.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, good to see you. Hey, Allison. Cool. How's everybody doing? I am waiting a couple more people to join. Um, but I figured that so I wanted to one of the things that you learn as you grow your business is that Daniel, I'm going to mute you. One of the things that you learn in your business is that if there's one way that you're getting a lot of business and getting a lot of leads, um, and you have a channel that's really producing for you, you actually have to keep doing it. You don't add on another channel, right? Um, I think Allison knows that, right? Allison. And so Allison's a client. She's in our program. She's actually a personal branding coach in our program. And so one of the things that I learned, I was like, where do my best clients come from? The people that I can truly dive in and have the biggest impact. And these are people that listen to the podcast. And so I the other day I posted, what kind of format do you want on the podcast? Right? Like what else could I do? And most of you said that you wanted live Q&As. You just wanted help with your individual uh situation, right? And so I was like, well, I could do that. I can easily do that. And so I'm gonna make this like a regular thing, for you to just hop on, once a week. You can ask questions. I'm going to do the best that I can without knowing your exact situation. A lot of my clients, I know their exact situation. I know their personality type, that sort of stuff. And so I can customize it, but I'm going to give you the best advice that I can at the moment. And then the other thing was that uh, typically on my birthday, I always fundraise. Like I always do something. And so like, a couple years ago, I raised money to like take care of a village, my father's village in Haiti. So I raised enough money to like take care, feed and provide medical supplies. One day I funded an after school program. And then like I still do that, but like not dedicated to my birthday. And then I realized that a lot of times, um, helping people doesn't often come in a form of charity. Like it doesn't have to be a nonprofit in order to help people. Um, and if you know me, you follow me, you know my story. Like I love entrepreneurship. I love business. I love just the freedom of being able to like have an idea in your head, you put it out into the marketplace, and then the marketplace will tell you if you have a good idea and they will buy it. And then that money you take and you produce and you give back to your clients. And then, especially with Woodpreneurs, what's amazing is that the stuff that you build and you create and you produce for your clients is the most beautiful things in the world. And then it changes their lives, and you're like saving trees, and it's just really, and it's awesome because you get into this meditative state as you're producing your end product, and you pour your heart into it, and then you give that to your client. And then when you give it to them, their face is lit up and they're happy, right? Especially when you give them what they want, right? And they're happy with the process and the result. And it is so different than doing taxes. It's so different than having to buy a new transmission. It's so different than having to like repair a leaky roof. It's so different. And so for me, I just love working with woodpreneurs because I like married into the family, but B, uh, you know, I just love working with people that build and produce things because I've been fortunate in my own life. Um, when you think about like your life and you think about like your contribution to the world, I've been so fortunate in my whole life. And so I think the greatest act of service is to serve other people in the things that they need. And and you know So on my birthday today, this is my gift to you, to be able to give you some time to help you with your situation. So that's the context. I'm going to tell you how I came up with this idea. So I was talking to Linda. Say hi to Linda, everybody. Linda is our growth advisor. She has so if you ever see an email, you see anything whereas like book a time to do a walkthrough session, you're going to talk to Linda. Linda is amazing. Linda is truly amazing. She is. Linda, you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. Hi. I'm delighted to be here supporting all of you. So for many years, I've been a growth advisor to all kinds of businesses, everything from self-funded startups to companies that are growing. Hi, Scott, growing layer by layer over the years, to each next level in their business. And Steve and I were introduced, and when I learned what he's doing, I just fell in love with the idea of helping people who are in an industry where they love what they're doing. They dream about what they're doing. They want to bring it to the market. They want to make an impact. They want their babies, the things they work on, to be loved, appreciated, and used out in the world. And I fell in love with Steve's program of helping people figure out the hard stuff, which is the marketing side, which nobody wants to spend their time doing that. They want to spend their time creating beautiful things out of wood. And so I'm delighted to be here to support you and everybody else who's interested in learning more about the program.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, you know what? You've had a very interesting vantage point in the business, because you've been talking to a lot of woodpreneurs in the past. So she started 2 weeks ago. And so just curious from your perspective, what are the main challenges that you're finding from woodpreneurs when they're talking to you?
So I'll say there's a fundamental challenge for everybody in the woodpreneur industry. That is, most have gotten into it because they loved working with wood early on and then tried to say, can I make money doing this? Or they opportunistically, I've talked with more people in the last 2 weeks that, well, a mill came available, so I got a mill and then learned what to do with a mill. And it's a lot of fun, but a lot of folks are starting off in what I would call a hobby mindset. And then they wake up one day and they go, could this work better than I'm doing it now? Which is the beginning of a shift into a business mindset. And it takes some time, and it takes having a community around you that's done the same thing. So you understand you're not alone on the journey. There's a network of other people who have done that same journey and also created a really lucrative income for themselves, their family, the impact they can make in their community, and so on. Just the impact for other dreams that they have. So I'm finding the challenges are, for some folks, it's getting over that change of mindset from, but I really love this. Am I supposed to charge more money for it? To, well, when people stop by, then I've got a new customer, to what we refer to as your audience, your community, and choosing to deliberately build that community, build that audience, so that you have followers, that have people who recognize you, your brand, your website, and anything you share brings them in from their hearts closer and more interested in what you're doing. And so they're talking about it with their friends, their colleagues, or it could be people who are architects or contractors or designers. They're telling their clients about you and what it is that you do, because it could be a fantastic fit for the projects they're working on. And so it's a shift in mindset. As Steve, you and I have talked about, it's a shift in mindset is the first and biggest challenge from, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but I want a bigger result. Okay, you have to do things differently. And it starts on that marketing trail of building an audience, building a community, so that you have people who are fond of you and follow you.
Yeah. So one of the things, thank you, Linda. Thank you for sharing. And so, if you have the inkling of ever getting on a call with us, you're going to talk to Linda, and she's going to take you through what I think is a very illuminating process. It's ultimately a sales call. I'm not going to lie. It's a sales call. And if we think we're a fit, we're going to offer you an opportunity to work with us. And I also have to tell you that this, because like even in me, like I'm growing my business to a different point. And what I'm noticing is that for you to get to, and I'm going to talk about this challenge, right? I'm going to talk about this challenge. And this challenge that I'm going to offer you guys on my birthday is free. It's completely free. Allison, if you don't mind me putting you on the spot, but I in a little bit, but Allison went through it and it had transformative beliefs in her business. And so, and thank you for joining. And Dylan's a client. Dylan is here. He's a client. Thank you for joining. So the crazy thing is that, for you to get to 10,000, it's a shift regular. To get to 20,000, it's a shift. A 30,000, a $50,000 a month business, completely. You have to be a completely different person to reach $1 million a year. Like the things that brought you to where you are today, in order for you to get to where you need to unravel a whole lot of stuff. And so I'm going to say it like this. If you are offended by people selling to you and people making offers to you, and it like, you cringe, you most likely have a money problem. That means that you are afraid to actually ask people for money for your business. If you're offended by other people selling to you and you're inundated and annoyed by other people advertising to you, or you see somebody out there being all salesy and you're like, I can't do that. Oh my God, I could never just have a camera on my face. I could never just put myself out there. Right. And I just want you to know that you need to like, just pause. Any feelings come up, even as you're listening to me talk, just pause. That I want you to say, okay, where is this coming from? Why am I having it? Because I've got to tell you, the most successful people, the people that are millionaires, multi-million, they might have that. They might have had that at one point, but they never look down on anybody that is pushing their business. They're not afraid to accept sales or hear pitches or anything else. And so what you want to do is to put yourself in a position where you are the most comfortable and yourself, so that you can start attracting the people. So again, maybe before I go into this, to this 10K for 15-day challenge, I'm going to, so if you decide to book a call, Linda, can you put your chat? Oh, did you put your, can you put your booking link? Or maybe
I'll go put it in now. I also have put in the links to the videos for people to watch before doing the booking, because that's pretty important. I think we're respectful of everybody's time, and we look for everybody to be respectful of ours. So we are modeling for you what you should be doing with your clients as well, which is not just let anybody who wants to chat jump on and use your time, because your time is valuable. And so part of what we do here at Builder Growth is when people say they'd like to have a conversation, we say, fantastic, before you book, go watch these videos so that you've thought through what your questions might be.
Yeah.
Our conversation can be more content laden, more valuable to you. And of course, I'm going to also share what we're doing in our program to see if you would like the assistance that we're providing to folks. So
absolutely,
we're looking for a two-way fit. So we're
absolutely. Yeah. And the biggest thing that you're going to get out of the call is that she's going to analyze your business and what you're doing, see what your capacity is, and then model out what your potential income is and the return on the investment. Like seriously. And so before we dropped the link for you to book a call. But we want you to watch some videos. Be prepared. Just literally if you have an important person in your life, like literally have them on a call. Like we've modeled out businesses for people to like 2x their income, their sales in their business in like 6 months, completely transformative. And there are people here that their business is completely transformed with focus. So when you're ready, we'd love to work with you. So okay, thank you, Linda. So let me go into what's happening. So when I started coaching folks like more intensely, I was like, I nobody, I don't know, people haven't hit that first threshold, and it's like whether it's that 10,000 or maybe they hit 20,000, but they want an extra $10,000 a month, because the typical way that most woodpreneurs is like maybe they make a post or they built enough word of mouth and they get referrals. And or there's also this mindset in the woodpreneur community is like, I'm going to work super hard and my work's going to speak for itself, and word of mouth is the best in the world. And what I think is word of mouth is dangerous, is because you are actually relying on people to come to you and you don't have any control over that. And that when you have a family and you're trying to like feed a family and put, a roof over your head and food on a table, to rely on, a random person to message you and you don't know when, that's dangerous. And so I felt like in my own business, the first milestone was like to hit 10K. So I want somebody to feel like, oh, I hit 10K, or I brought in an extra 10K. And so, I'm obsessed with getting results with clients. And one of the things that I realized was I want to help you get there. And so I did this with my clients in June. So I did this in June, and I'm going to share my screen for you guys to see. So I did it in June. And so it was like, so basically the premise is like, so this is, every day, the different sort of things that came in. So this is every day. This is the cash that came in. And then total, if I look at all of the clients, they like cumulatively, we brought in $102,000. So it's an average of about $5,000 per person. It's not the 10K, but some people, one person brought in 24K, one person brought in 12, one person 17, one person 18. And I will tell you what they were. So furniture, furniture, the biggest were furniture. The 18 was lumber and lumber. And then all of these other ones were like furniture. And then, so that was the results. And then, this other one, and then cumulatively they brought in 148 leads. But this is wild. This person brought in 42 leads in 1 month, right? 42 leads. So we'll do this divided by, and they took off weekends. So let's just say 25. That's like a lead. That's like a lead and a half a day. That's wild, right? And then let's say, in 5 days, 8 leads a day, 8.5 leads a day. Let's just say 8 to round down. And what's that? A week. I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying. So this is 8.5 leads a week. And let's just say, but this doesn't even count their sales, because they actually killed it. They brought in 24,000 in sales. It's actually over 25. And then, so let's just say, just for because I'm a math nerd, right? So you just say you did 42 leads, and this is lumber. So you do 42 leads, and you end up closing 20% of that. What, 20%? So 20% is 8, right? Close 20%. It's actually a little bit higher, right? And let's just say your average sale, if for lumber, is, $2,000 for a lumber sawmill. Let's say $2,000 times 8.4. That's an extra 16,000 right there. And then if you end up like through branding, follow up, you keep increasing that. I mean, that's only 8 sales out of 42. And now you have more people that you can nurture. So that's an extra 16,000. But they ended up bringing 25,000. But that didn't even count the leads, which is wild. Anyway, so this is the deal. I want to help you bring in some money in 15 days. But I'm a salesman. And here's the deal. I want to help you get to as close as 10K as possible. You get to see how I work. You'll have some extra money, and then you'll give it to us so that we can help you grow even more. So you like that? Honesty is freedom. I want to prove to you in advance how I work, and I want you to see the results. And if I could help you over the course of 15 days, imagine what would 6 months look like working together? Allison, can I call on you?
Sure. Hi.
Allison, we've been working together for a year, correct?
Yep. Yeah, for a year.
Do you want to just tell us why did you start working with us and where you were at before you started before we started working together?
Yeah, sure. So my husband and I both have full-time jobs, and he started doing some woodworking on the side as kind of a hobby, and he started selling some small stuff like cutting boards and things like that. And we kind of had this dream of like maybe one day he could leave his job and do that full time, maybe like when he's ready to retire from his job. He's 45 now, or 46. So like, sometime in the future, like he could kind of retire into that. So we would like slowly build the business up like over time. And that was, that's kind of his like passion. So it, sounded like a nice thing to do one day. And then I started listening to Steve's podcasts. And I got in touch with him, and I was, thinking maybe we could do it sooner. Maybe we could make this like a 5-year plan or something like that. And, like, I guess I'll fast forward to like, so I've been working with Steve now for a year, and my husband just gave his notice at work. So that retirement plan kind of came on really quick. So we grew very quickly. I think when I started working with Steve, we were doing some like vendor fairs, like a couple vendor fairs during the year, and like bringing in, I don't know, like $200-300 a month. And we had one $30,000 month this year. And I don't even know right now what's in our pipeline. Like I'd have to look and see. It's over $200,000 in our pipeline right now. And that's like proposals that have gone out to people that we're waiting on. We have probably like $40,000 in backlog. And just in these past 2 weeks, I did the personal branding sprint with Steve, and so we've gotten 18 leads. Yeah.
And it's not even, we're on like day 8.
Yeah.
I think we're on day 8. So I like to do little experiments with my clients. And so the first was the the 10K and 15-day challenge. And then this one, I'm doing a personal branding sprint where I'm coaching people to raise their profile so that more people in their, because I mean, who else feels like, oh my God, nobody knows that I exist. Nobody, I've been doing my job for so long, and but nobody literally knows that I exist. And it doesn't that piss you off? Doesn't that, like, literally, doesn't that piss you off? You're like, I'm working so hard. I'm putting myself out there, but nobody knows that I exist. And so what happened as a result of personal branding, Allison, with you?
So yeah, so that was like, we were in that position also, and nobody really knew who we were and everything. And I had the mindset of like, personal is here and business is here, and they shouldn't be mixed. And that was like unprofessional. And I also didn't like putting anything out on social media about my family. And I just, I was very reserved in that respect. And so when I started doing the personal branding, it totally changed. So when we go out, especially as a family now, we're recognized pretty much everywhere we go. Like if we walk into stores, people will be like, oh, you're the Woodworkers. We follow you on Facebook. It's happened several times over the past few weeks. People recognize my kids, which is, like something that I was very hesitant about, but we live in a small town, and it's just, it's fun, and it's all good, like natured and everything. And so it's nice that people know our business now, and it's seen in a very positive light. A lot of people comment on, they love what we're doing and things like that. And then we have like, I'm in, some local Facebook groups where people will ask like, oh, I, need a woodworker for this or that. And like maybe 20 other people will comment on that post saying like, oh, you should reach out to Allison Green. And most of those people have never bought anything from us before. They just know us through my Facebook page, just through personal branding, and they've seen what we do. And so those people are recommending us to other people that need to buy something. So that is like a really amazing thing. And that's why, this is all why we have like, I'm trying to manage like 18 different leads right now, and they just keep coming in. So
What has it done for your family?
Well, like I said, so Jeremiah put in his notice at work, so he's going to be doing this full time soon. Like we're bringing in extra money, paying off debt and things like that. It's been,
but it's changed your lifestyle. It's changed your lifestyle.
Yeah, it's changing it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Allison, for sharing your story. Allison is she's an independent thinker. She's raising her kids to be independent thinkers. And she's taken all of my advice and made it her own. And she's building this amazing business, this community driven business, and super proud of her. And now she's like kind of like a personal branding coach in our program. And so I'm just super I'm happy. So Jeremiah is number 9. So I've helped 9. This is now the 9th person that I've helped quit their job and go full-time in their business. And that's really awesome because I love that level of freedom. Cool. Thank you. So, okay. So here's the deal. I thought there'd be more people here. And so I will probably give it a deadline until Monday. But if you're here and you would like to go through the process of working and getting coaching with me, what I'm going to do is maybe I'll make a post, and I'll get in touch with folks that are here. What I'm going to do is actually, you know what? I'm gonna send you my email. But what we're gonna do is that we're gonna create a private Facebook group, and I'm just gonna put you in a private Facebook group. You're gonna get coaching. how it's going to work is that every day you're going to get a different assignment. Do this day, and you just do it and you say, I'm done. But they'll be very clear. There'll be some a video that you watch, and it's like 5-minute video, and it'll explain what to do, and then you'll do it. The 10K and 15-day challenge is going to start on September 5th, right? But what I want to do is this next week, I actually want to get you prepared for it, because you just can't just jump in and make 10K like that. It's just, there's a little bit of work, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to be very prepared. There's some mindset stuff that you need to work on, like real mindset stuff, like putting yourself out there a little bit more, having a goal. The 10K is like, whatever. But like, I want you to look at your goal, like look at what you did last month and see if you could do it in half of a month. I love stuff like I do this stuff all the time in my own life. Like, I'm like, okay, I did this. How can I improve it? And so that's what I want for you to do. So like, I'm going to put together you know what? Hold on. I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to create a Facebook group just for this 10K and 15-day challenge. And if you are here, 10K in 15-day challenge. So I'm going to show you what taking action looks like. It's called imperfect action. Oh, let me show you. I think Allison's learned this from me, right? You take action despite having all of the information, right? Is that true?
Yes.
So we'll do this. So Woodpreneur, 10K and 15-day challenge. No, sprint. That's what we'll call it. Sprint. So we'll do create. All right. And then we'll make it so that, so look, I'm going to put it in the Zoom link. And if you're here, join this. Click this link. And then join. I want to see if you're serious about this. One thing that I absolutely hate, I mean, sometimes if you have kids, right, and you tell them what to do and they don't do it, and you're like, that's so annoying. I'm the same way about adults. I'm like, look, just follow the instructions. It's right there. So what I want you to do is just like click the link. Let's see who's an action taker. Oh, the other thing is, so I'm supposed to go, so why I did this, what's the process? There's going to be some pre-work done. There's going to be a Facebook group. There's going to be lessons every day. Throughout the whole time, if there, my goal is to provide you with so much value for free, Like maybe if you feel like you get value from my podcast, like I want to go a little bit deeper and just like help you, just for you to have that shift, right? And then so there'll be offers to work. I'm also going to train you, give you prizes for participating and taking action. I'm going to train you on our system, and goal is to get you to 10K or whatever your goal is. So let's see if folks have joined. Let's see. Who else? Did anybody join? Oh, 7 members already. Look at this. Action takers. Let's go. Dylan, you doing this too? Again? Allison, you should join. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Okay. Allison, you going to do it? Yeah. Okay, cool. Who's iPhone 10? I don't know who iPhone 10 is, but you should do it too. Potentially.
That's me. Bill.
That's who Bill? Bill, do it. You got to do it. So yeah, I'm even having clients do it again. This is going to be new and improved. It's going to be better than last time. If you're a client, I'm going to give you some personal coaching because you're clients, obviously. But yeah, all you guys, you're just gonna do it. Okay. I got
Where's the link?
24. What's that?
Where's the link?
It's in the chat.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. Okay, so I think that's it. So I got 23 minutes, so I could go back and enjoy the rest of my birthday. What questions do folks have about this or just about your business in general? You can either raise your hands or unmute and ask questions.
I have a question, Steve.
Yes.
So since joining your program, I have increased my following quite a bit. I have like almost 600 friends. My biggest struggle right now is I can't attract people. They don't seem to, some people respond, but they don't really ask questions. They don't really seem to be interested in the carpentry part of it.
You need to talk to Allison. Have you had a conversation with her?
I did in the beginning.
You need to because your posts you need to build a lifestyle.
Well, I kind
You
of
need
thought
to,
but
no, you need to showcase your lifestyle more.
okay.
So don't you think, Allison, when you think about the key difference in what attracts people to you, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think you have to share more and make yourself vulnerable. So like your personal post should be personal. I mean, not everything. I don't post everything. Life is messy, you know. Some of the messy stuff is good, but some of the messy stuff you just don't put out there.
But the messy stuff, you talk about it after you've gone through it and overcame
in a
positive way. Yeah.
Never in a negative. Yeah, I never post anything negative.
No, never.
Luckily, like we all have a good sense of humor here, so there are some unfortunate situations that happen, and we're able to make light of it. Oh yeah, don't eat those. Like for example, my daughter dropped the remote control on the toilet the other day. So that was like a post that I made, and it got a lot of attention. So not everything has to be about woodworking. And it's good if it's not. People can see kind of, you want to give people a glimpse into your life, because this is your storefront. Like it's your, you don't have maybe you do, maybe you don't have a brick and mortar store, but like if somebody is walking down the street and like walks into your store, they want to know who they're buying from. Like they want to know what kind of person you are. You might have a conversation to build rapport and be like, hey, like, you know, how are the kids or this and that. That's what you're doing on Facebook. So like you have to put a little bit more of that out there, and like let people see your personality a little bit more.
Yeah.
How long did it take before you started noticing it?
I don't know, a few weeks maybe, but you have to be like super consistent about posting, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it was like there was a big kind of shift when I finally put my face as my profile picture, and that was kind of a big, I didn't want to do that. And I think Steve remembers, he was telling me to do it, and I was like, nah, I don't think so. And like I finally did. And I think it was like the next day somebody recognized me like in a deli and was like, oh, like I follow you, you're the woodworker, you know. So
and you closed the sale.
Yes. Yeah, for a table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill,
Yeah,
get with Allison today, and can you just be brutally honest with him and just like map out what he should be doing? Because yeah, Bill,
Sure.
that was, thank you. Because I think that's the key difference. The more that you are giving of yourself to a community, then you can start attracting the right people. It's not enough to just have the friends and put out content, but the end result should not be a sale. The end result should be about connecting. That's the whole point. The point is to like build a community around yourself that you can start attracting people to you, and that it literally outlasts your brand. I know that, I mean, and yeah, I'll move on to the next question, because you could literally just ask Allison this question at any time. But like, you surf more, right? Put more content out there about you surfing. You have other things, like you can start attracting people based off of who you truly are. We have somebody else, Justin, big hunter, big outdoor camping guy. He attracts those people to him. And so you need to actually be a lot more forthgiving about your personal life in your business. Is that helpful?
Yeah, I thought I was already kind of doing that, but I guess I got to keep doing it more, I guess.
No, you need to talk to Allison, and then Allison will give you feedback. That's what you need to do. Yeah. Cool. All right. Who else got questions? Don't be scared. I just said this to my clients the other day. Closed mouths don't get fed.
Steve, I
I
got
want
a
to help
question.
you. Yes.
So when you're doing personal branding, you're talking about doing it on your personal Facebook and Instagram, not your business one, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's your personal Facebook page. Yep. Yep. It's a mindset shift, because you got, your high school people, you got your uncles, you got your, your cousin who you hate. and then you got people, and then you get self-conscious, because you're like, oh my God, like I'm afraid. And that's oftentimes who we have this fear of what we think people think of us, or as we put ourselves out there. And that's really, really hard for folks to get over. And I'll explain during the challenge, like, why we chose this. But I mean, it really comes down to, you, how do you say it? What's the biggest bang for the buck organically? Like, we all have a lot of Facebook friends, so that's a big source of leads. You also have a lot of people in your phone. They're all leads, and we're all afraid to like sell to our friends and family. Like, I had a client, his interview is going to come out. He said he was one of the people that in the 10K of 15-day challenge, he ended up doing 23,000 that month. There were some, so he did 18,000 during 15 days, and then 5,000 before. So he did more in 15 days than he did, 3 times more in 15 days than he did in the whole month. And it was his best month in history. He said, I knew that I needed to join and work with Steve when it was Thanksgiving, and my mother-in-law came over and said that she bought a table from a woodworker. And he was like, oh my God, I'm terrible at marketing. My own mother-in-law didn't even buy a table from me, and I have a woodworking business. Like, we're afraid to sell to people that we know. I'll sell to everybody. Like, you probably have hundreds of Facebook friends, hundreds of people in your phone. Like, they're all customers. Every single one of them is a customer, or they know a customer.
So
everybody should know you.
How do you go about reaching out to friends and family to buy stuff?
We'll go over it in a 10-day, 15-day challenge. I mean, it's literally a long thing, but yeah, it's a long process. But yeah, like, you just share more about yourself and your business. So the point is, like, 20% selling and about business, 80% you. And then when you talk about your business, it's got to be like this fluid, lifestyle driven thing. What you want to do is put yourself out there. There's a reason why you hopped on this call, right? And there's something about me that has you staying on this call and engaging on this call. Whatever that is, that you see that thing that attracted you to me and this message and this thing, that's how you have to be with your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
What kind of business do you do?
Furniture.
Tables, custom, credenzas, all of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I've only had 2 leads, but
Okay. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I have a bunch of ninja things that I'll show you.
All right.
Yeah, this week will and we'll have paid and we'll have organic stuff too. So if you can throw some money into some paid ads, we'll help you. Is that helpful?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna hammer home like what we said to Bill earlier is like there's like if it's literally working for someone else, you just have to be patient enough that it'll work for you. I've had clients that be like, oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Like it works for me, it works for them. You just have to be patient and continue to, the more you fail and the more you get feedback from somebody like me, then we can help refine and fine tune. But oftentimes, I mean, it was the same thing when you're building furniture. Like you build furniture, like you learn more from your mess ups than by making things perfect. And it's the same thing with marketing. It's a skill and personal branding. Like if you see me write copy right now, like writing a Facebook post, doing whatever, building a Facebook group really fast, dropping it into the link. You know, every expert was once a beginner. And so if you change your mindset into be like, okay, I'm going to fail. It's not going to be perfect. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to do things despite how I feel because the market doesn't care about how you feel. Like your bills and your mortgage and the supermarket doesn't give a fuck about how you feel.
Yep.
And so you actually have to do that. Like it was a switch for me. Like, and I was a successful business person. And it took for me to like really kind of fall on my face to be like, oh, I really need to do the things that people that are more successful than me are telling me to do. I shouldn't try to do this myself. I should actually believe what they say and do it. That's a novel concept. Someone that is more successful than me is telling me to do something. Maybe I should just do it and believe it. That was when it changed for me. I was like, oh, that's all I got to do. Just don't forget my feelings. Forget how Allison, the same thing happened to her. She had a picture of her kid as her profile picture. She was afraid to put herself out there. I told her to change her picture. This next day, she sold a table, and it was a proposal that was out there. She got a lot of, and all I'm teaching you guys to do is to like mess with this algorithm. Like I figured out how to mess with the algorithm a little bit to benefit people like you. And that's all you got to do. Okay. Reed, excited to work with you in September. Who else has a question?
I actually have another quick question.
Well, could we hold on and for a moment so that we could give somebody else a chance, and if we have time, we could do that.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Who else has a question?
I got one, Steve.
Hey, what's up, Zach?
How you doing, man?
Good, man.
So sort of we've got a lot of younger businesses that are working with you, growing, and these guys are doing 100K in 15 days, 50K in 15 days. That's great and all. That's awesome. But a lot of these guys are one-man shops. How are you getting these guys to be able to attain that growth, achieve those deadlines without having to tell someone they're 10 months out, 12 months out, to where now you're losing jobs to competitors because now you're too busy?
So those are future problems that the first problem that I'm solving is adding marketing systems and building that muscle of marketing systems. The next part after that is scaling operations. And so so people that I'm working with right now, they're literally hiring other people. They're getting bigger shops. And there are different mechanisms to do it. Like I have a client, furniture maker, like leverage financing to get a bigger shop, start hiring folks. It's all about capacity. Obviously, it's like you don't want to do it, but the thing that I like to tell people is focus on one challenge at a time. And so there are different constraints, right? And oftentimes if you've built a big enough brand, or like a more reputable brand and reputation, people will be like, oh yeah, I'll wait 5 months, 6 months. My furniture clients that are doing well have 5-6 month, backlog. And then ideally I like to tell people to have a healthy backlog of 3 to 4 months. But if you're at 5-6 months, that's dumb to keep it to yourself. Like, hire somebody so that you can turn that around faster, take the profits, keep reinvesting it back. But that's kind of the mindset. Like, the goal is to never, I tell people this all the time, like, have a couple of employees, build a real business. Like, if I don't want people to be one-man shops. And I know there's a culture around, being in a garage and working for yourself and working from home and not having employees, and everybody's like, oh, I don't want to have employees. They're too hard to handle. I'm like, do you think, and I'm not to say that you want to build Amazon, but you think Amazon, like Bill Gates, knows how to pack a box? No, he built a business that enables him to like do whatever he wants, and he employs people. So like, when you employ people and you build a big enough business, like, you are viewed as a different thing. Oh, and by the way, I want it for all of my clients, and I want it for you, Zach, is that when you go on vacation with your family, you're still making money. That's what I want. I want you to make money while you're not working. And I said this to a client the other day, like, God forbid, knock on wood, anybody gets injured, you're out. Like, there's no money, like, at all. And so just building up contingencies in your business. But like, that's not part of the 10K to 15-day challenge. What as we start working together, we put together phases and plans based off of your strategy. Like, okay, what's your strategy? What are you doing now? What's your backlog? What's your constraint? We unlock the constraint. And then we start, like, if, I have clients, if they're looking to scale based off of their business, then we put together a hiring strategy based off of that. Is that helpful?
Yeah, to an extent. We definitely should chat more later this week or into next month. Because that's great, scaling a business, hiring more people, but there's probably a lot of guys even in this chat that are like me, that like to build stuff. We didn't start our businesses because we like business. We did it because we like to build things. So we're getting more people naturally in the wood industry.
There's a balance. You can have a balance. Yeah, you can have
into more business things and off the tools.
Yeah, it's a balance, and you can build whatever business that you want. If you want to, if you want to continue building, you can build. I would just say to value your time more, so that you're focused on more higher level things, so
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, any other questions? Anybody else has questions?
Hey, Steve.
Hey, who's this? Oh,
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Daniel?
My struggle right now is trying to get that final step into the customer's hands. My business, live edge slabs, milling, drying, surfacing, and then getting it into customers' hands, either DIYers or furniture builders, etc. I've sort of perfected the process of getting the wood ready. I've also developed what I think is a pretty good website for my inventory. But I'm just having trouble getting the customers through the door.
Yeah, so I like folks like you, and I know that you spent a lot of time building your website, inventorying everything. I think what you need to do is to build a community. You need to like put yourself out there a lot more, like a lot more, meaning that like, I mean, are you part of the Chamber of Commerce?
I'm not, though I do attend, networking events in the area.
Yeah, you should join the Chamber of Commerce. You should join groups of home builders. Should join, and if those things don't exist, you literally create it yourself. That's what I would do. The other thing that I would do is was it you? Somebody put, I would literally have parties every month.
I attempted to host a bonfire last night. It did not get
Yeah.
the attendance I was hoping
Yeah,
for.
yeah. So, but throw a party, get a brewery involved, get some other, manufacturers involved, build your own little community around yourself.
Yeah.
Because I have an old client. We just stopped working with him. I think he's up in your neck of the woods. He did like a sale, and what ended up, I think he sold like $47,000 worth of lumber in a month. You know what I mean?
That would be an excellent month for me.
Yeah. So I think, for you, I would the real focus truly comes with knowing who your customer is and making sure that you are intimately aware of their problems. So for me, I know who my audience is and I know what their problems are. And so when you hear me talk, you're like, oh, this person really knows me. He's saying the things that resonate with me. He knows my problems. That's how you need to be. And you're like, okay, how could that happen with what's that called? With furniture. Like you solve problems with all of your products and services. And if you don't think you solve a problem, you actually need to talk about your products and service in terms of the problems that you solve. So one of the things that Allison had before she hopped off was like, she wrote this amazing post and talked about the clutter in the home. Like, hey, do you ever, winter, fall time's coming around, and are you tired of looking at that all of the coats and gloves and boots on the ground? It's like, wouldn't it be nice to have an organized mudroom cubby? People like, I mean, that was like her 30K month right there. You know what I mean? And so you just need to speak to your problems. And I would for you, I would go ahead and make sure that every single person, every single woodworker, every single maker in your area, you are personal friends with, and they know you, and you speak to them, period. Yeah, forget everybody else.
Definitely a direction I'd be taking, because, as much as you said at the beginning that word of mouth is a horrible marketing plan, it's actually my most effective marketing plan.
Yeah, you can amplify that though. You amplify it. And so what most folks don't have, and you have it, all of it, you can air dry or you can kiln dry. The kiln gives you leverage, right?
Yeah.
Word of mouth is like air drying. Using social media is like a kiln. Does that make sense? But you have to have a process, or like Canadians say, a process for how that happens. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, and I
Okay,
think it's
but
just trying to develop that process of getting that final link of getting the customer here or on my website, you know,
how
and
you
making
attract,
that.
so first you know who your customer is, then you attract your customer. That's the attract. You need to attract them, because when they come to you, it's a much more powerful proposition than you going out to them, right?
Exactly.
And then once you attract them to you, then there are actual other systems to convert them into sales. And so we have that too. So but yeah, make sure that even today, just start friending 20, 30 woodworkers in your area. Just literally just do that today. Do that
Yeah.
today. Anyway, so I gotta hop off in a minute or so, but what I want to do actually is I think if you look in the chat, there is a Facebook group that I want you to join. I don't know if Zach, you got it, but there's a Facebook group. So we're gonna do. I'm gonna coach you guys in a Facebook group. The program's gonna start. The sprint is gonna start September 5th. It's gonna be lots of fun. We're gonna make lots of strides. We're gonna learn about each other. And to reiterate, my goal is to provide so much value over 15 days that you have to work with me, or at least have the money to. And then the second thing is I'm excited. I'm excited for this challenge to help you out. And then lastly, Dylan, do you mind hopping on? Dylan just joined the program. And Dylan, do you mind just giving people 2 minutes of like what it's like to be part of the program and work with me?
Yeah, definitely. Since I've joined, it's definitely been beneficial. I've because I was also doing on the route of just kind of word of mouth work, and it was kind of getting slow, and just really new to Facebook and never utilized social media at all. So just having someone who knows what to do there is very beneficial, and also Steve and everyone in the group is very like helpful with changing that mindset. Of my personal mindset was like, I get these really big bids, and I get intimidated because like, man, that's a lot of money, I can't mess this up. And you put it in the group and everyone's like, dude, you can do this, now go sell 3 more of them. And so like they push you to get to where you want to go, and then further than that. It's definitely been worth the money and time for sure. You're on mute, Steve.
Yeah, and you just sold something this week, right?
Right. I just sold a $12,000 Murphy built-in. Working on a second lead right now, actually.
And then because of that, I developed the whole strategy based off of I've developed a whole strategy based off of based off of his thing, and it was called how to turn. So this is kind of like what you get working with me. So this is a strategy that I built out. And again, when you take action, it amplifies. So the strategy is how to turn 1 sale into 3. And the concept is money loves company, and money needs to be spent. You can't hoard money. And so you just can't, like they call it currency for a reason. It just needs to spread. And so, and if you have one person, so if you have one project that sold for 12K, then you need to get 2 to 3 more. Right. And so I developed a strategy. So you leverage your personal page, and then you do a page strategy, and then the call to action is to develop a design consultation. And then when you're in the program, we teach you how to leverage AI. So we developed AI stock images on Murphy beds, and then we used AI to create copy, Facebook ad copy and personal ad copy. And then Dylan, you posted yesterday, and what happened?
Yeah, within like the first, I don't know, 10 minutes of the post being up, I got a lead on someone asking me about pricing on them. And I reached out this morning and we're having the conversation. So hopefully
Boom.
it turns into another one.
Boom. Yeah. So that's
You muted
yeah, I'm
again.
sorry. Yeah, that's what you get work with me, is just to be able to just like take your individual situation, you get something, and then you turn it into more, because
Yes.
money loves company.
And to add on to, I forget who it was talking about, being a one-man shop and the problems that you get when you start building your log. I'm a one-man shop at the moment. I'm working out of my garage, and when I started working with Steve, the goal was to get to where I'm making 15 to 30 grand a month, get a new shop, and hire an employee. And I was, intimidated at first too, thinking the same way, like, man, if I get all these jobs and I'm working by myself, I'm not going to be able to take the jobs that I want, or, things are going to happen. But it's one of those things where you got to focus on what's in front of you and deal with that, problem when it comes up. So, I've just been taking as much jobs as I can. I've got a steady backlog, about 4 to 5 months right now. And my space is getting really crowded. So I just got a new shop that I'll be moving into within the next couple of weeks. But it's kind of just like, you just go with what's in front of you, and then when the time comes, you switch gears and you get into the next problem. So
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, I'm proud of you, Dylan. That's great, man. That's great.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And that's great that you within lead, and you didn't even do any paid strategies yet. I would
right. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, so anyway, guys, I'm excited to work with you. If you have any questions, message me. I will post more in the main Facebook group and see if we could get a couple more people. But look, if there's 10 of you guys in this Facebook group that I end up working with, and you guys are gonna be the luckiest guys next month. You get to work with me, and I'm excited. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye.